Okay, let's get into it. Yeah, I got a lot of research to do yet today. I got a lot of clients I got to do research reports for. Okay, now here's one thing. If you have student loans, you know somebody has student loans. Really, what's happening now, it's turning into like what the housing crash turned into. Yeah, so many people didn't have to pay for the mortgage because of the loan companies screwed up on the paperwork. In the New York Times today, oh, you probably see this upside down or inside out or whatever, but here's the title. If you Google New York Times, lost paperwork may ease student debts of tens of thousands of students don't have to pay their loans. You know, I mean, that's incredible to me. Look at all these things you're worrying about. And you don't have to pay for it. Now let's see, where the heck is, okay, now so how do you find out more? I mean, get that article, read it, it'll give you ammunition on what to look for. But these people that are suing you and taking you to court, actually, it's a lot of windbags. They don't even have a case because they don't have the paperwork anymore. And they go to court and they're losing. And actually, what they're planning on, the cases they win, are the people who don't show up. So that's it. See, a bully. Now, these are bullies, yeah. And so the bullies win if you don't show up. But if you show up and have the strength or get free legal help, now here, how do you get free legal help to do that? Okay, to fight these people. Okay, here's the ways to do it. Okay. Like this woman who got rid of like $30,000 worth of debt, she had the National Consumer Law Center. This is a national nonprofit organization that works on this. So this is a good place, okay? National Consumer Law Center. See, what you're looking for to solve a lot of problems in life is not a lawyer who specializes in that because they want to charge you $300 an hour, you know? You're looking for an advocacy group. These are nonprofit organizations that don't get paid to do their work, but they're getting grant money to help you get justice. Now, what could be better than that? Yeah, that's better than paying $300 an hour to get justice, right? So this is one of the big consumer organizations, advocacy group. Here it is again, National Consumer Law Center, okay? And they do reports on all this. They know about it. They can point you to legal help. Like the legal aid in your area, but there's a lot of nonprofit law centers too all over that do things for free. And to find them, if you go to 211.org and put in legal help, okay, that's the way to search for this. I mean, don't search for a lawyer. You're going to get 100 of those by throwing a rock. You know, you got a phone, you got a lawyer, as the ad says. You know, but you don't want them because they got to spend money. You want to know where to get this help for free. Hundreds of cases has been dismissed when borrowers challenge them, according to lawyers, often because the trust they don't have the paperwork. See, the financial services industry got so convoluted, so you got a loan from somebody, some private organization. Now, this isn't happening with the government because the government, you know, if you can't pay, they say that's okay. These are private student loans that people have. You know, where the people from Detroit are coming after and say, hey, we're going to break your kneecaps if you don't pay this student loan. You know, and they're the ones, you know, that you could get relief on if you learn about it. So, either the Legal Aid Society where you are, remember you're always looking for .gov or .org for this kind of help. You know, you don't want to go to .coms or even .nets yet, not in this kind of stuff. And there's a couple of big companies. See, what they were doing apparently from this article, it's a huge article. I mean, this is, you know, the whole thing. So that's why if you have this, because you're what, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in debt, you know, why screw around? You know, that there's a way out of it and live, because they have the fear factor, because you don't know law, you don't know anything. Oh gosh, I'm going to go to jail, or they're going to take my firstborn, or, you know, all this kind of stuff. That goes through your head. Actually, I had another article I wanted to make sure. I get, and so you're behind the 8 ball. You're swinging, and you don't have any justice on your side, but you can get it on your side, and that's the important thing. Okay, so contact National Consumer Law Center. Go to 211, and also if you have student loans too, and they're not from a private, find out how to get them reduced. Actually, a fella just called me. Maybe you're listening to on Facebook. He said, yeah, he made millions of dollars. I don't know how much. He said he made a lot of money in the student debt business, and he wants to know. He's offering me free help, I guess, to let people know that there's answers to these things. So that's right. There's a lot of money. That means there's a lot of shenanigans going on. The sharks are all over this when that happens. Consumerfinance.gov. Consumerfinance.gov. If you have a student debt, you go to that website and you put in student debt or repay student debt, and you'll see should give you an 800 number of an ombudsman. Ombudsman is somebody who takes your side of the issue. So that's why the government even set up somebody to help you through all that problem, and they're the student debt ombudsman. Isn't that a great name? I'm an ombudsman. It sounds like you work for the Pope, doesn't it? And that's it. So consumerfinance.gov. So okay, the whole thing here, if you have a student debt from a private organization and you haven't paid, find out about, hey, they probably don't have the paperwork. So if they're coming after you, you have a good chance you don't have to pay that shit. But they don't know you know, and that's what happens. So they're going to scare the pants off you, and you won't show up, and then they get a judgment against you, and they have the right to take your children or whatever it is. But if you learn your rights, then that's where the power comes in, and you get power in the system. And see, to me, a government person who wrote the law is more powerful than any attorney you're going to pay $300 an hour for, because they wrote the law. Yeah, they could sue these people and put them out of business. So that's what's cool about that. Whatever. Okay, here's another thing. The housing. Okay, another article that I'm an old-time guy in newspaper. On the weekend, I use my wife has bad eyes, so she looks like reads the paper, and we're getting rid of them slowly. But their housing costs put California in crisis mode. The average cost in California for a house is $500,000. Average, $500,000. Man, that's crazy. So how is the average person? I mean, who could afford $500,000? I mean, what's that, 10% of the country or something like that? Nobody. So it's going crazy out there for housing. But there's so many programs that are subsidized to help you buy a house, and most of those programs are for down payment money, anywhere from $5,000, $10,000, $30,000. I've even seen $40,000, of down payment money to buy a house, and closing costs. So a lot of these programs that I read, because I do this research every day for people all over the country. Hey, I want to know about all the housing programs in my community. So that's what I do, research. I'll show you 100, 150 programs, so in doing that research, I see, and so many of these communities, you could buy a house with just $500 in your pocket. That's all you need. They give you down payment money, they give you closing cost money, all these kinds of things. Then when you get in trouble paying, there's even at the state government, there's programs, most states now, see, everything's different in every city and county. By the way, somebody asked about my $1 a minute thing. Yeah, that's on Lesko.com/talk, T-A-L-K. Just make an appointment there, and usually in 10, 15 minutes or whatever, man, I'll inundate you with more sources of the best sources in the world to get free money to solve any problem you have. And I send you the links and everything, so you don't even have to do the research. But the housing, see, those programs, you could start finding them yourself. And what you do is you go to your county government. Your county and city government have the best potential. There's 3 places: your county, your city, and your state. So go, you know the name of your city, you know the name of your state, so all you have to do is put that in your Google, yes, $1 a minute, and put that in Google. Somebody's putting questions up and I'm trying to answer them. You know the names of the state, and then you'll see and make sure that the websites you go to are only .gov or .org, because what happens, you have realtors and everything pretending they're the source of the state governments and everything like this, and everybody selling you homes are pretending that they know about these programs, but they're not the horse's mouth. See, and they're not making as much money off of a government program that gives it away free versus one of their buddies in the financial services industry that's charging a lot of money and they can make a bigger commission on. So that's why go to the horse's mouth and get the real information first before you go to any of these other people, for information. And that, like I say, the places to start are your state, your county, and your city. And then there's nonprofit organizations. I don't know if you know about Habitat for Humanity. You could get a house half price. Now you have to volunteer. You'd volunteer to do work to help other people get houses too, but then you get a house at half price. So you get a $500,000 house for $250,000. Wow! That's incredible to me. There's nowhere else in the world you're going to get something like that. So that's what's neat. You have to know about these programs, to be able to take advantage, because these people that give it out like that, they're not going door to door or emailing you with spam and things like that. The gentrification is rampant. So you have to find these things yourself. And somebody said in New York City, yes, a lot of programs for that. Sure, it's going to be all relative, but most of it is down payment money and closing. And that's the hurdle for most of us. We don't have that kind of upfront money. Let's see and learn how to remember. I remember your infomercial. Stand out. How do you get student loans paid down? Okay, for the government programs for student loans, I gave you earlier, it's consumerfinance.gov. Consumerfinance.gov. Now, there's another thing about student loans. I found today in the newspaper. Again, actually it was in the style section. What did you do with it? Did you take that newspaper? I just had it here. But the Arts College at Harvard, they stopped. The Arts College at Harvard stopped. Because the government said they were screwing students with their student loans. They were getting, $70,000, $80,000 student loans, and the government complained. So they stopped taking students. This is the biggest, college in the country. Got caught with their, hand in the till or whatever. I don't know the specific. But if you go to the arts section of the New York Times, you'll read about that. So they stopped. No more doing. They're going to take 3 years to figure out how they screwed up. And they've been screwing students all this time. So that's why you have to be careful. Look at something like that. The most prestigious university we had, gets caught by the government for screwing students with money. That's astounding to me. And that's why, even now, I just saw data in the last week or two, the average person who's going to college this year is just paying half of sticker price. They're paying half. That's what the average college is giving out. Whatever their sticker is, they're really only charging half, because there's all kind of deals, all kinds of things to do, because they're all getting screwed. People are wising up. Man, it's stupid to pay $50,000 a year, and what the hell you're getting? You're getting a job at $25,000 a year. Now that's crazy. And I think that will slowly change. We're still in a credential society. Everybody wants you to have a pedigree and all that kind of stuff, because they don't know how to judge any other way. And that's why I think that's slowly changing, because now the student loan bubble will cause it to change. People are going to wise up. Why am I paying all this money and just getting a shitty job anyway? That's crazy. You could go and get a skill. You go down to your workforce development center, and they'll send you a training course for free. They'll pay $8,000 for you to get a skill that you could start at a higher pay level than you would if you came out of college with a BS degree, So that's what people have to know, and that's what's really, I think, happening. Sure, it's not going to all happen overnight and things like that, but it's changing, and that's where the growth is, in this credentialed society and pedigrees and all that kind of stuff. That's slowing down. Now, the other thing I talked about here was how to make money making home-cooked meals. And this is really part of the the Uberization of our society, the shared economy, all the disruption that is happening in our society. I mean, and this is another indication of this. I mean, these guys, here's two guys in Chicago. What they do, they used to be roommates living together, okay? They're living, and what they did, they took turns cooking for each other, because going out to eat, I mean, you're spending $20 a pop or whatever, and going out to eat every night, that's a lot of money. You could cook at home for like $2 or $3, that's it. So what they're doing now, they have an app. So if you're cooking dinner, okay, now here's what you do. So you're cooking dinner and it costs you $2, $3 per plate to cook dinner. Okay, you cook an extra 6, 7 plates of dinner, okay? You put it on this app even beforehand. I'm gonna cook this. How many people want this tonight? It'll be ready at 6 o'clock, okay? And you charge, $6, $10 or whatever for it, And so there, so you made an extra 50, 60 bucks. Just by cooking a few extra plates of food for that night. Man, and see, there's an app for that. An app. See, this is what the cloud is doing. The cloud is demystifying it and getting rid of all the pain in the ass stuff that used to come with trying to do things. I mean, just if you try to do that before the cloud. I mean, you have to get a phone chain or something like that, or go door to door with the little slips of paper, and then how do you tell them when it's ready? How do you everything. So all you do, I mean, it is open your phone and you punch a button. I'll be there in 30 minutes. And it's all gone. See, this is what's happening in our lives. And this is why that is growing, that side of it. Okay, what is that called? And now it's just in beta. It's just starting in Chicago. So if it takes off, it's where take a look at this. You could start one where you are, okay? It's Shamil, like Shamil, Shamazel, there's something. SHMEAL.co, not .com, .co. I guess like a share, meal.co. And you read all about it there, and it's a clever idea. But see, for anything you have, a new entrepreneur idea or whatever, take these things as indicators of what's going on, where the market's going, what's going on in our life. So you can get on that wave, and you're not left at the beach as the wave went out. The wave's going back to the ocean. You want to be out there and coming in with it, right? As the wave is coming in, not being stranded on the beach in an old idea. Now here's some statistics on the shared economy that I got, because that's interesting. So this is growth. Okay, this is where we're growing. Now you heard of Airbnb, Uber, and Lyft. Now these are probably the biggest, companies that have taken advantage of the shared economy. Airbnb is hotels. I mean, I have an apartment in Washington, D.C., my wife and I, and we put that there on Airbnb. We make a ton of dough off of that, and they do all the work. We do absolutely nothing, just clean it. And actually, the people that stayed there become friends. We go out to dinner, and it's just terrific. What that does for people. They also leave it cleaner than we left it for them. People seem so committed, or whatever, and so involved and responsible. It's sort of like staying at your aunt's house or something like that. But here's some things about those. Okay, the combined capitalization. Okay, those three businesses, Airbnb, Uber, and Lyft. You never heard about them 5 years ago. Okay, now Airbnb is worth $31 billion. That's how much it's worth, $31 billion. Uber is worth 86 billion. Lyft is worth like 7 billion, okay? Now, those three things together, those three businesses together equal the 60th largest country in the world. And there's 200 and some countries. So just those three businesses are bigger than the 60th country in the world. Airbnb, Marriott. Okay, Marriott is the biggest hoteler in the world. They're worth 38 billion, okay? Now Uber's worth 68 billion. So Marriott, the biggest hoteler in the world, is worth 38 billion. You know, Airbnb, by the way, it is worth 30. So they're 31 billion. So they're worth as much as Marriott, which is the biggest hotel in the world, but they have more rooms. You know, Airbnb, you know, has millions of people making money on it. They only have a few thousand employees. Marriott has hundreds of thousands of employees. But see, Airbnb has hardly any employees, a couple thousand, that's it. They're worth the same as Marriott, but they only have 3,000 jobs, right? Marriott is the same value, but it has hundreds of thousands of jobs. But on Airbnb, millions of people are making money. Millions, like me, yeah, making money. Okay, here's what, there's 2 million bookings on Airbnb, you know, since they launched in 2008. 2 million bookings. Uber has 10 million rides, daily rides. 10 million. Wow. Okay. The medallion, I don't know if you know, like in New York City, to drive a cab, you need one of these medallions. They used to be worth $1.3 million. Now they're worth 200,000. So you had one of those, you're out $1 million. You know, that's what happened. Or the disruption of the economy. You know, so these are disruptions. You know, and so, but there's other people that are making money. Millions of people are making money. I use these things. There's 600,000 drivers for Uber alone. 2 million drivers worldwide and 600,000 right in the United States, okay? Now the biggest, the whole taxi cab industry itself, all the taxi cabs industry in the United States only has 200,000. And Uber has 600,000 drivers already. Okay, how about renting a castle? Well, now in Airbnb, there's 3,000 castles you can go stay in on vacation. How'd you like to stay in a castle? Or even there's 1,400 tree houses you want to stay. They say that's one of the biggest things they have. And what they're saying about Uber has cut down like DUIs. Like in Georgia, they did a study that the 32% reduction in driving while intoxicated. And it shows here that it's cheaper, like 32% cheaper to use an Airbnb than it is a hotel. So that's why, see, you're making money, they're making money, it's cheaper, we're getting out of the middleman. That's what's happening in loans. You know, the banks are making all the money on the loans. You don't make any money by putting your money in the bank for other people to borrow. Yeah, and the people are borrowing it, paying the arm and a leg. So you go peer to peer, and now it's so me putting it on a website, yeah, I'll give you a loan or I'll pay part of that loan. So I'm willing to take 3-4% because the bank only gives me 1%, right? And you borrow the money at 5%, instead you go to the bank and it would be 7, 8, 10%, you know. So everybody wins. And who loses? The fat cats who have that system, the existing system. The existing system is outdated because now we have the technology to make it uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated, these things. You needed that bureaucracy before. But now there's an app, there's a website, there's an algorithm to eliminate that complication that was in so many operations. That's why these things are popping up because, see, we could eliminate a lot of the work that was usually done by people. We just do it on an algorithm. And that's why, so follow that where it's going because that's where your opportunities are too. And that's what I'm trying to show people. Okay, my stuff, by the way, I have some new programs up on Udemy. Do you know Udemy? That is the U-D-M-E-Y, is that it? U-D-E-M-Y, University, D-E-M-Y, and if you just Google Lesko, you'll see the programs I have, and my new ones there, one on how to use Google, one on getting information on the 25 best programs, and another one on jobs. All of those are 50% off for the next few days. If you put in the code NEW50, N-E-W-50, N-E-W-50, and you want me to do research, go to lesko.com/research, and I got 3 programs there. I do research, custom research for. One is on housing, show you all the programs where you live. Second one is on getting money and help for your government, for starting a business or nonprofit. I do that, show you like 200 programs where you live. Then another one, the 300 programs of extra ways to make money. Not only with government grants, but also opportunities on the internet like this, that I categorize them. I got about 150 of those now, that come with that report, plus all the local grants, from government offices and nonprofit organizations that help you get through life a little easier. Programs that are never advertised, that I'm trying to make sure more and more people know about. So thanks for putting up with my antics. I gotta go and do research again. Because that's what I'm about, learning new stuff. Because I gotta go out and spend the rest of the day and probably half the night learning new stuff. So I'll talk to you tomorrow most likely, or the next day, about some little new items I found that I love sharing with people, okay? Thanks again for everything. I appreciate having you there, the opportunity to do this, so thank you. Everybody, we're back with a whole new show. I don't know if you call them shows. I mean, to me, I used to be a professor in computer science back in the 70s. That's right, the 70s. That's when computers were bigger than this kitchen I'm in. The Canadian, did you ask me? I answered 3 questions about, is there money like this in Canada or not? And I really don't know, because but I almost did a book in Canada like this, but this was years ago. And my understanding, and you go out and research this if I'm wrong. Last week you mentioned that a way to get paid at least $50 on the internet. Do you remember how? Boy, I forget. I'll have to go through my stuff. Maybe it was through shiftgig.com. So look at that. That's how to get. I have deals worth millions. I need to know what to do. Oh, okay. Well, let's cover that a little later, or offline, or whatever. I want to cover something else tonight. That I think is very important, because we all have ideas, and that's what's great about life. Getting up in the morning and having something you think is important that other people should know about, that you should be doing. That shiftgig.com, right? That's it. That you should know about, and other people should know about, and we should do something as a society about, if they only knew things like you do. Okay. Now, when I grew up, is that to able to do this and to be able to publish your ideas, to get that information out, or whatever you wanted to do, you had to write a book, right? Or you had to be someone famous, or something like that, or get on some big TV show, and that's not possible for many people, right? It became possible for me only by accident, but now it's possible for anybody to get their message out, and get paid to do it. Now, sure, it's not 100% guaranteed, nothing is, but you have the opportunity. And with the opportunity, that becomes trying. It's like, going and panning for gold. Sure, you're not gonna, there's no guarantee you're gonna hit a big gusher, or whatever they call it, in finding a pot of gold, but there is a chance to do it. If you're in a place where other people are doing it, and it's happening, and whatever, well, then, God, you get your pick and shovel, man, and get out there and start banging away, because that's the only way you're going to get it, right? A big gold nugget. And now that's become possible for everybody. That's right. Everybody can do that. But you have to know how to use the system. And now the system is free. You don't even have to pay for a pick. You don't have to pay for Levi jeans. That's how Levi jeans started. They were making pants for people who were out in San Francisco, trying to make millions in panning gold way back in the 18, whatever the heck it was. And so that's why they made these tough pants out of real heavy fabric, and rivets instead of sewing the seams and all that kind of stuff. So you don't even need that, because on the internet it takes very few skills, and now there's what's called platforms that let you do this now for free. No matter who the hell you are, you don't have to know anybody. You don't have to be a fat cat. You don't even have to know expertise. I've talked to people got out of jail and then went on the internet, raised $10,000-$15,000 to do a record. He wanted to do a rap, on a record. Now he couldn't get. The banker wouldn't even let him in the building if he's looking for money. but they do on the internet, see? You get that kind of money no matter who the hell you are. Now it takes, you have to figure out the system, and it's just trial and error, but it's free to figure it out. You don't need an expert. You don't need all this other stuff that people are selling you, to figure out how it is. No, you just spend some, seat on the, what do you call it, your butt in the seat time, and figure it out yourself. You fail a couple of times, whatever. You try it. It's sort of like hitting a baseball. You don't get up, I'm going to hit a home run. No, nobody does that. So you have to be willing to, okay, you swiff a couple times, you dribble a couple times until you get the knack out of it. That's the only way it's going. But you have a chance to play, no matter, with a nickel in your pocket. You can go out and do something. Now here, I like you, if you have a minute, you ever hear of Kickstarter? That's there's about 1,000 crowdfunding sites where you could go put your idea on a site, on one of these websites. Millions of people every day are coming to these websites looking for ideas to invest in, and this is for inventions, it's for musicians, and now here, writers. This is a person with a story to tell. If you go to Kickstarter.com, Kickstarter. Okay, Kickstarter.com, and put in the search there, an act of worship. Okay, an act of worship. Okay, this is a young woman. She's a struggling little filmmaker. Okay, now do you think that she's Muslim descent, or whatever you call it as religion she practices? She's a Muslim, American though, living here and everything. And so now we have this ban on Muslims, and it's making the non-terrorist Muslims feel shitty, right? And so what we're doing to the other people, we're categorizing. I mean, it's a form of racism we're doing now, right? Just because people are Muslim. So she wanted to tell this story. Tell the story of the Muslims. Okay, she's going to write a book. No, she knows how to make film. Okay, she's done it. So she wants to make a film. Okay, she has no money to make a film, right? She doesn't know how to get money to make a film, all right? Well, go to this, Kickstarter.com, and put an act of worship. And you'll see her Kickstarter campaign. Sure. Now, now I've interviewed maybe about 700, 800 people who've done this, who had ideas for business, who had ideas to solve problems in their neighborhood, who had ideas to get extra money for their neighbor who lost the job. That's right. Who had ideas to get, they couldn't afford, dental care and found money to do that this way. This is an incredible thing. Like even for artists, I don't know if you realize this, but things like these websites, the crowdfunding websites now give more money to artists than the National Endowment of the Arts. You hear of the National Endowment of the Arts? Okay. National Endowment of the Arts is a government program, that we have in the federal government that gives out money to artists, okay? Now, most artists know about it. Oh, get a government grant if you're an artist, okay? That comes from the National Endowment of the Arts, okay? Now, this website gives out more money and grants than the National Endowment of the Arts for artists. That's right. And now, even for people who have a story to tell, like an act of worship about what we're doing to the Muslim community in our country. And so she's telling that story. Like she needs $10,000 to make the film so she could get the film out there and educate people about the Muslim faith and what it's all about. Because if you're not aware of this, you think they're all hiding bombs or something like that. And that's that's just stupid. But if you don't know, that's how I grew up in the 50s thinking Russians were like that. Now they're invited to the White House, aren't they? Until I met some, then it was so different, and so here she is in an act of worship on Kickstarter. A great woman. Actually, when she was in town to film this, she's as I say, a struggling filmmaker, and so she stayed here at our home when she was filming some of this. So that's why I'm biased, so I know this person. But you see a little clip of the film she explains it, but it's really a clip of her explaining why she wants to do this film. Okay, now she's looking for $10,000. Look at that. She already has almost half of it. She has $4,800, $4,805. She's halfway there. So she always has $4,800 of free. And what it cost her to put this website, absolutely gazoopsky. Nothing. Nothing. And if you go to my website, I have a website where I have over 2,000 videos on, and most of them are people who've done, Kickstarter campaigns or crowdfunding campaigns, got money for anything. And they're, if you go to Big Data Lesko, big, BIGDATA, Lesko.com, and look at the videos there, and you'll see hundreds and hundreds of people that I personally interviewed on Skype all over the world that are using this to change their life. Retired people that have ideas for new little products, and they go on there, like this guy was on camp, he loved to go around in his RV camping and stuff like that, and he found out this new way to make fires better out in the woods. So he designed this little gadget, and he was able to get like $15,000 to take this product and take this idea, make a product out of it, and now it's bigger than his ordinary retirement income. See, that's what's happening on this stuff. You could take ideas and not have the product. See, what's so great about it, you could have an idea for a business, not even have the business yet. You go on here and say, hey, you guys give me some money if you think this is cool, and when I get it made, in 6 months or whatever, I'll send you one. Wow. I mean, this is the only place this happens. Could you imagine going into Macy's and saying, well, the picture of that gray sweater looks nice. Here's the money. I'll be back at Christmas and pick it up. That's what they're doing on the internet. So what is so great about this, see, like her and her video, it's called An Act of Worship on Kickstarter. If you go there and see, now what she's doing is getting also an audience. See, what's happening, she's getting all this free publicity about a movie she doesn't even have yet, right? So why invest all the money, of your own money or get loans or whatever it is, to do a product or to do a movie or to write a book even, when instead you just describe it, sort of like maybe this is what it's going to be, Hey, you guys think it's a good idea? Now there's 66 people who think that's a good idea already and gave her money. Give her $5,000. Where else is it that easy to get $5,000, yeah? And she doesn't even have the book yet, nothing, the video, anything, the product or whatever. So you got this before they get anything. And then now you go and do it. See, now isn't that genius? That's why I think all this now is going to change our life completely, because now, see, normally what people have done is they go to somewhere like a venture capitalist, some fat cat. Like, I need all this money to invest in, some idea I have, or some book or movie or whatever it is. And then they get the money from the fat cat, then make the product, then go out and try to sell it to customers. And what happens? Nobody buys it. Okay. Well, here, see, you're doing it all at once. You're getting the money ahead of time before you do the book. Before you do the movie, before you make the product, you have the money before you did anything. Now you know for sure that you have customers, because you're holding their money already, and they don't have bupkis. They don't have anything anyway yet. So that's what's really cool about our economy. So this is what's happening now. That means we could grow faster, because now you're not wasting time trying to get money, trying to write your book, do your film, create your product or anything, and then go out and look for customers, And that means you have to get in bed with some fat cat who's going to tell you what to do for the rest of your life, But no, you cut out all that, and you go right to the people. And that's what, the internet does. You write to the people and say, hey, this is for sale. You guys, anybody want to buy this? Wow, I got 66 people doing it. So I got to market. Now I got enough money to make it. So now I go back and make it, because I already got customers already. Yeah, I got to send it to them. Now isn't that terrific? Now that's what's happening. That's why I think, in our country now, things are changed so much, because of things like this, and that we all can do so much. And it doesn't matter if you fail. Somebody said, oh, you don't know how to do it. Or you didn't know how to walk when you started either. And you did it, right? You didn't know how to drive a car when you started, but you did it. And that's what it all takes, is just doing it. And you do it, then the next time you do it better. And then you do it better. And then you do it better. And you'll see the videos that I have of people who have done it 3 times before they got it right. But nothing will happen if you do nothing. That's for sure. Now, if you at least do something, maybe it may happen, maybe it won't, but you got some kind of a chance. If you don't do anything, you got no chance in hell. Nothing's going to happen to you. So that's right. You may not know what to do, but the thing for sure is, don't do nothing. It doesn't matter what the hell you do, as long as you're not doing nothing. Anything else you do, don't even tell anybody, because they don't fucking know. Nobody knows. Everybody's guessing. Yeah, that's the key. Yeah, is that we're all guessing. The experts are guessing. Everybody's guessing. So you just go out and do it. You got an idea, like you think, like this nice young woman had about her an act of worship about Muslims, and wants to tell the people the other side of that story. She thought that was important. And that's what's neat about the internet. You could take your heart, what's in your heart, and throw that on the table to people and let them take a look at that so they could see what's in it. That's why so many people want to have a PowerPoint and be slick and all that kind of stuff. Man, that's not talking to anybody's heart. You got to reach somebody in the heart by talking from the heart. That's the only way you reach somebody, is talking with your heart. That's how you reach people. It's hard, So that's why she has an important message that she wants to get out. And now, if she went to some big, try to get, some cable company to do it, everybody's going to tell her how to do it, right? No, you do it the way you want, and you throw your heart on it. That's what art is. That's what we all have to contribute to each other. It is what's unique about us. So we could share with everybody else what's unique, what's different about us. That's what makes us special in life. What's different? Not the same. So you go to some fat cat, they want you to be the same as somebody who just was successful at something. So be just like them. Who knows that's going to work again? No. Everybody told that guy who just made something very famous they couldn't do it, but he did it anyway and became famous. Now everybody wants to copy him. And that's the important thing, that you're sharing as much as you can with the rest of us. Okay, now how do you do one of these Kickstarter campaigns? Well, you follow directions. There's, like I say, 1,000 of them. If you just sort of like put best Kickstarter websites or best crowdfunding websites, you'll see the top. There's Indiegogo, there's Kickstarter, and 1,000 others, and they're the big one. GoFundMe is another big one. Now the biggest ones I think are Indiegogo and Kickstarter. Kickstarter, though, be careful that you can't keep the money unless you make all the money you need. On a lot of the other ones, it doesn't matter. You only get $1, they send you $1. You get $1 million, they send you the $1 million. Kickstarter is you have to put a goal, and if you don't reach your goal, you get nothing. So that's why maybe a lot of people do is put a small goal, because maybe there's more traffic. See, on some of these websites, they have more traffic. More people are looking at them than others. Another thing to do is maybe hook up with somebody else. So like your idea here of worship or something. So you get some nonprofit organization to work with you, so they have lists or something like that. There's a way to do it. I was talking to a guy today who wanted to sell music, and I said, why don't you do songs about people recovering from drug addiction, And he said, yes, actually, I had one of those. Okay, so now he's going to hook up with a local drug addiction center and do a Kickstarter campaign or a campaign on crowdfunding, so he has something like that, and raise money. So now he has some other holy water. He's not just a guy singing a song, right? He's a guy working with this nonprofit organization who's curing drug addiction, And that's a cool idea, the way to get things out there, a little more than just, what normal people may try. And that's why it's how to be creative. But it doesn't matter if you're not. You get more creative by failing. I mean, that's the smartest thing I've ever gotten in life is when my back is against the wall, man. When my back is against the wall, man, I get smarter and smarter. I have a lot of money. I'm stupid. I'm throwing money around. Most of it doesn't do shit. Acknowledge your compliments if real. I acknowledge my comments if real. Can you put the French guy, all you buy your suits from thrift stores, I don't know what that means, but no, I actually get them from Vietnam. The same guys who are trying to kill me 30, 40 years ago now make my suits. I just got a new one today. Oh, am I so happy. I'll show you that someday. I'll wear it the next week or two. Man, it's multicolored. Oh, it's real dizzy and funky and whatever, but full of question marks. But that's what life is about. And that's why I like one of the question mark suits, because it makes me not fit in. I've lost millions of dollars wearing it. People didn't want me on TV shows and everything. That's why I think now you have to think differently to succeed. You can't do the same old, what used to work, because what used to work doesn't work anymore. Ask Donald Trump. Or actually ask the people who lost the election. They were trying to copy what used to work, and then they don't work anymore. So that's why these kinds of tools in our society, things like crowdfunding. I do research, okay? If you don't know my work, I'll do a research report. See, like for anybody, and I'll show you 300 ways to get extra free money for grants or places like this, shared economy or crowdfunding. 300 places for where you live, and that's what we need to know about these alternative sources. That's what I'm all about, alternative ways to get money. You want to do it the old traditional ways? Fine. That doesn't work for all of us. But there are other ways, and these are growing ways. The others are shrinking ways. Getting a normal job is shrinking. Getting a gig job, or 3 of them, is growing. Where are you from? I'm in California. I'm in Washington, D.C. What does that Brooks Brothers get you, Taylor? No, I get it from Vietnam. I'm going to check out this guy, link to his bio. Well, yeah, I'm around. I've been around 40 years or something like that. Now I'm 74, so I've been doing this work for 40 years, probably about 40 years. Hey, Riddle Guy, what do you think of the boom in cryptocurrencies this year? Yeah, I mean, the Federal Reserve thinks it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Just when, what, how, whatever. It looks like a train that's not stopping. So the same way with this other ways. I mean, look at everybody's trying to stop Airbnb, but there's 1 million people making money off of Airbnb. Yeah, they only have like 4,000 employees, but 1 million people are making money from it, and they're now the biggest hoteler in the world. And like Hyatt has like 150,000 employees, and Airbnb is worth like 2 or 3 times Hyatt is. And they only have 3,000 employees, but nobody's making money off of Hyatt except the investors. And now, but 1 million average people are making money on Airbnb. So that's right. It's a whole new ballgame. It's all changing. The cloud made it happen, because now that makes things a lot less complicated everywhere in the world. Everything that we're doing now is less complicated. Before Uber, we used to call a cab, right? And they said, we'll be there in 20 minutes, and they never did, right? But now we just click our phone and point it. We see the cab right around the block, and he's there. So that's why the world is changing. And sure, everything old won't go away overnight, but it's not growing, And so it's the new stuff is growing, and it's fun to be in something that is new. All you are is a pitchman. Yeah, you're right. I haven't bought a suit off the rack since college 6 years ago. Oh, French guy. Oh, yeah, well, I like French girls. I just saw some friends at a French wedding. Boy, everybody was dressed very nicely. I thought, what do you think about the Bitcoin? I mentioned that. Yeah, I think that's here to stay. I proved you wrong. Me? What? I don't know. I mean, you're not a guy. Are you rich? Rich in what? They're the wrong question. That's why we're the question mark too. It's really the questions are important. The answers are easy. You get 1 million answers, to anything. It's important to ask the right questions. So let me tell you again about this Kickstarter campaign. Kickstarter.com, and you put in an act of worship. You want to see how she did it, and is think of ideas. Think of these places and how to do it. If I could help you find more sources, even like extra money to live on while you're doing this, or money buy houses, or start businesses and stuff like that, that's what I do. And that's at lesko.com/research. Also, if you want to just talk, I talk like today. I talked to somebody that actually he had a new service on the web, and I talked about how he could get $10,000 a month of spending money to advertise his website by just hooking up with a nonprofit. And so it's stuff I just study alternative ways to do anything. So if I can help you, and that you need extra money to pay bills or start businesses or buy houses or be a real estate investor, all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm good at, and lesko.com/research or /talk, T-A-L-K, and that's all small words. Hook up with a nonprofit to do what? To do anything. You got to be clever enough to do that. Like this baker I talked to at a failing bakery out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I said, okay, now how are you going to get money? Okay, well actually, how about using crowdfunding? You go to a senior home and say, okay, we're going to give beautiful birthday cakes for every time somebody in a senior home has a birthday. Could be their last birthday, right? Okay, and so now what to do is do a crowdfunding campaign with the senior center so they could raise money to buy your cakes. See? So now you have the senior center, raising the money to buy your cakes. They're getting advertisement. You're getting advertisement, and you're getting somebody to pay for all the bakery you're going to give them. See? And that's why it's being clever. There's always more than one way to do anything. Crowdfunding campaign. Yeah, sure. Are you black? You get a lot of weird people on some of these things. I need to pick your brain for my invention. Need direction to get started. Yeah, lesko.com/talk. T-A-L-K, all in small letters. Lesko.com /talk, T-A-L-K. I graduate at 21 with my first, I lost that, Patriots. What is that? I can't get the new ones. Oh, gosh. French guy, it sucks to be like... I don't know. I mean, you want to badmouth me, that's fine. Better people have done that. Don't have much time for that. Except I'm 35 and pretty well. Oh, good for you. I think wealth is an indication of anything. At least happiness. I mean, God, happiness to me is having something you think is important to do every day. And that's, I think, the most important. You want to get up and work as hard as you can on something that you feel is important to do. And that's what crowdfunding, like this woman, on the Kickstarter campaign, an act of worship. I mean, she thinks this is so important. So she's going on the internet trying to raise $10,000 to do that. She already has $5,000. Never done it before. Trying to figure it out, whatever. Maybe fail, maybe not, or whatever. And that's what's important. That you're trying. And that's what life is all about. Life is all about trying. Nobody knows. I mean, if you had a little kid, running in a race and they came in last, I mean, what are you going to, oh, you lazy shit, why'd you come in last? No, you just ask the little kid if they tried. That's all. Do they try? That's all you can ask. The same thing. We're all little kids inside. So just ask yourself, did you try? That's it. So just get out and try. Okay, guys, I'm going to go out. I got to do a phone call soon on lesko.com/talk. I got an appointment to call somebody, talk on that. I also have a freebie you can download too, lesko.com/5free. And that's all small letters too, the number 5, then F-R-E-E. And that gives you the best starting places to find free money on anything. Where do you get all that energy? You find something you love to do in life. Yeah. And then I just can't wait to get up and do it. That's right. I love going to sleep so I can get up, not the rest, so I can get up and do it. Let's see the new jacket before you go. Oh, the new jacket. Oh, I see. Here, let me. It just came in upstairs, but here's what it looks like. This is a fabric. This is from a place down in North Carolina, I think it is, called Spoon Flower. You send them a graphic, and they make you the yard of fabric, 10 yards, as many yards as you want. You know, it's real cheap, too. Yeah, so you don't have to buy a big bolt of this stuff. So I buy a couple of yards, real cheap, send it to Vietnam, and they make a soup. Great. See you guys. Ciao. What's it called? Spoon Flower. Spoon Flower is where the suit's from.